Thank you very much, Koko Asante. He followed the vice president's convoy, and the convoy went to the home of the former defense minister, Dr. Omane Boamah, who is now late, and of course, the late Environment, Science and Technology Minister, Murtala Mohammed, and of course, finally to the home of Alhaji Miniru, who until today was the Deputy National Security Coordinator. So it's been quite a tragic day. Loads of condolence message coming in. We've got from the President of Sierra Leone and other individuals we'll share with you pretty shortly. But the Northern Regional Minister has also been speaking about this tragic news. Let me cross over to the Northern Regional Capital now, where my colleague Martina Bugri is standing by with that conversation.
All gathered here. I am here this evening with an entourage. With me are the regional commander of police, party leaders, my regional organizer, my regional deputy treasurer, my regional deputy organizer, the regional communications officer, and other regional executives, women's organizers, and other women in various constituencies have come with me this evening. And this is not one of the usual visits to a family. This is very unusual. We are here with very, very, very sad news. A calamity has hit Ghana. This morning at about 9:30 a.m., some ministers of states, including the Minister for Defense, the Minister for Environment, our own, the Minister for the former regional minister, Northern Region, Honorable Lemuna, and some other government officials were on an official trip within the country. Sadly enough, the unfortunate happened. They were traveling in a helicopter, and to cut a long story short, we had a plane or a helicopter crash. All on board, both pilots, passengers, and every other person on board will be referred to as the late now. We are here to break this news on behalf of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to the family of our Minister for Environment, Honorable Murtala Mohammed. It is very sad, but there's nothing we can do about it. And so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has mandated me to meet with our Muslim leadership. And so I've invited the Imam of the party, Alhaji Machele, and all others that I have mentioned to come with me so that we can break this news to the family of our late brother Murtala. The other arrangement is that tomorrow, time is yet to be given, and I will communicate the same to the family when we settle on the time. Tomorrow morning, the family and my good self and my entourage would be at the Tamale International Airport to receive the body of our late brother Murtala Mohammed for burial. We entreat all of you to be at the cemetery to join us, to give a befitting burial to our late brother Murtala Mohammed.
Right, so that's the Northern Regional Minister speaking there to my colleague Martina Bugri, and the information he provides is that they have the instruction of the President to receive the body of the late Environment Minister Murtala Mohammed tomorrow, in line with the traditions of the Muslim faith, to give him a befitting burial, and that obviously should take place within 24 hours. And so that's the latest addition we are getting from the Northern Region. The regional minister saying that they are in readiness to receive the body tomorrow at the Tamale International Airport and give him the traditional Muslim burial. I can also take you back to the forest where the incident took place. And of course, the Deputy Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator, Ivan Bilson Yeboah, has also been providing some clarity on the matter with my colleague, Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
From the Deputy Security Coordinator for the Ashanti region, and he is here with me. Want to find out from you. I just saw some sacks pass by. Can you confirm to us these are the bodies or the charred remains of the 8 persons that you retrieved from the site?
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed, I can confirm to you that what you saw a while ago in those sacks are the remains of senior officers that were involved in the crash this morning. Originally, they were scheduled to join us at Obuasi for the launch of the responsible mining, community mining, but unfortunately, they couldn't make it to the scene. And national security, the military, the police, and other sister agencies were at the scene. It's been a very long day, very stressful. It takes you more than 2 hours to climb the mountains to get to the top, and also, carry those bodies downstairs. Currently, we have asked everybody to leave the scene to allow the experts to come and then assess the situation and give us a comprehensive report with regards to what really transpired or what really happened at the scene.
Okay, when you went to the scene, we want to know what really happened. Is it that there was a crash into a tree? What really, so far, what have you picked up caused this incident?
Well, I'm not an expert in that field, but we were at an accident scene. As to whether the helicopter fell or crashed into the trees, we are unable to tell. We are waiting for the experts to give us, come and analyze the situation and give us a comprehensive report with regards to what really happened.
Okay, so now that these bodies have been retrieved, where are they going to now?
We are taking them to the morgue for possibly a decision by the superior or decision makers. Ours is to evacuate the bodies from here to the morgue, or probably the hospital where probably a postmortem and other examinations can be done to identify. Because you were there, you also saw them; they were bent beyond recognition. So I think we have to employ scientific means to identify those bodies and see who is who before it can be released to the respective families.
Okay, so now that how many sacks have we been able to pack, or we have retrieved all the bodies?
Well, from our headquarters, that's National Security, we've been duly informed that the bodies were 8, and we have retrieved 8 bodies. Yes.
8 bodies.
Yes. From the scene. Very well. Badly damaged.
Partly damaged. If you say partly damaged, describe badly damaged. Describe the hands, and can you give us just a picture of it?
I am not in position to say that. Right, yes.
So once with the wreckage that is there, what is going to happen to the helicopter wreckage?
Currently, as I told you earlier, the military has dispatched their experts, analysts to come and then take the footages and then look for the black box. And also, be able to draw to a conclusion what really happened. You see, some of these things, it is important we do those things in order to guide our future movements. Situations like this, it's unexpected, but it has happened. So we need to, investigate what really happened so we can put up proactive measures to guard against future occurrences. So it is important that we take these steps to unravel what really happened.
Yeah. Right, so please can I get your name?
Ivan Bilson Yeboah.
Ivan Bilson Yeboah. So I have been speaking with Mr. Ivan Bilson Yeboah, who is the Deputy Security Coordinator for the Ashanti region. Well, I also have the assembly member for the area. When the incident actually happened, he moved to the scene. Daddy, who say if you see in hotel na woko e hu ye.
Oh, unia me da say said ya work na anapa bobe 10:28 na me information say plane bia crash your forest ni mu. Ti me rush ko ho.
Ko e den na hu ye say na see ye senate.
Oh, ye ko ye hu say ampa said ya metie na me antia me ko ye no na ija da plane mu ashi helicopter mu ashi body no so ashi na me frame penifo ya me nchade o man chekra regional minister na ada security agency no mu na bai. I mean, we can say, a deep body in no market, a eba.
Yantiasa normally ana helicopters no etai efa ama incidents bi kra esima nsuo bi eba ye no helicopter ba ko ejina wo kro no mu ansana nsuo na eni ba from na bibisa no say na normally aha no helicopters no omo ya omoko omo ye ne sen
me no kra aha eben oboase nti de kwaye ne say ya na planes helicopters ni ta fa ha every Wednesday bia nti de kwaye ne say busio nti ana pene busio mpa na otun say wada no enye ti mi kan say be 5 years ni ebisi sa ama plane be land yo bo food twen say kopem say ewium be clear ansana omatu ti we ye huni sa ne say atorenchem we atoye no.
So yeah, that's it, Assembly member Boamah. So what you saw just passed by you in a sack, that's the brown sack, is one of the bodies, the charred remains of the 8 persons who were crashed by the helicopter
Right, so that was Emmanuel Bryce Kweku reporting live from the forest, Evan. So this is not your typical forest of big trees. This is a cocoa farm, if you like. And so, I mean, it's quite unfortunate. I mean, the remains of 3 hours ago or 4 hours ago, cabinet ministers carried in cocoa sacks, going to the morgue for possible identification before it can be released to their families.
And that's something, obviously, that we would obviously hear more about. But the most important thing tonight is that the bodies have been retrieved. The remains have now been retrieved from the crash site. And as the Deputy Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator just confirmed, they will have to do DNA testing to establish which body is who. And that is in itself very challenging to comprehend what might have happened here. It cannot distinguish Dr. Omane Boamah from a good friend, Murtala Mohammed. It would take a DNA test to do that, as the Deputy Security Coordinator for the Ashanti region is just confirming there. And so that is the next big step now as the families. And we've been saying already that we know that Murtala Mohammed is a Muslim. And we've also seen that the Deputy Security Coordinator
is also a Muslim.
So this has to happen pretty quickly now, between today and tomorrow for the burial to happen. And so I'm pretty sure that will be the primary goal of the team tasked to get this wrapped up. And so that is a key issue that needs to be resolved immediately as we begin to watch this unfold. And we know that the state is making every resource available for this to happen as quickly as possible. So the families of those involved can get closure. This is a major tragedy, and it's a national tragedy indeed. We've seen that the New Patriotic Party has a statement out.
Right.
They have a statement
loads
out.
Loads of it. In fact, I'm just going through one that is just on the official handle of the President of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio. He says, "I'm deeply saddened to hear about the tragic helicopter crash in Ghana that has taken the lives of the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Environment, and the entire crew. My heartfelt condolences go to His Excellency, President John Mahama, and the people of Ghana during this incredibly difficult time. Please know that the people of Sierra Leone stand in solidarity with you as you mourn this profound loss. We are with you in your grief." And this is coming from Julius Maada Bio, the Sierra Leone President to President Mahama and the people of Ghana.
Also, the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany here in Accra has a statement. It says, it says titled, "Germany stands in grief and solidarity with Ghana." And it says, "It is with deep sorrow and heartfelt sympathy that the German Embassy in Accra has learned
of the tragic loss of lives in a helicopter crash on Wednesday, August 5th, 2025. Our thoughts and prayers are with the government, families, and friends of the victims. Among the victims are honorable public servants, including 2 ministers, with whom the German embassy has worked closely and trustfully. Their dedication to Ghana's development, their vision, and their personal warmth will be deeply missed. Germany stands in grief and solidarity with the people of Ghana during this difficult time.
A lot more. This is also from Kojo Oponkroma. You know, Kojo and the defense minister went to the same school, Pope John Secondary School. And Kojo says, on this terrible day of national tragedy, my prayers go to the families of our colleagues who have fallen in the line of duty and in the service of our dear country. It is so heartbreaking to hear of our countrymen suffer this fate. And he says, for the Pope John Secondary School fraternity, Pujoba Senior, Dr. Omane Boamah's demise stings extra painfully. May the good Lord keep their souls and comfort the families left behind. There's also another one from Gabi Asawashodako, who says, Ghana stands in unity in profound grief today. We have witnessed a dark tragedy of unimaginable scale. The loss of 8 precious lives, including 2 esteemed cabinet ministers. To my knowledge, our nation has never endured a loss of such magnitude involving 7 high state officials. My deepest condolences to His Excellency, the President, the bereaved families, loved ones, and all Ghanaians mourning this immense void. And this is coming from Gabi Asari Oshodako.
Okay, and we'll bring you more of the condolences coming through on this very, very dark day indeed. I want to take you back to the northern region, I believe, where the MP for Sanerigu has been speaking to my colleague, Martina Bugri.
We are with the family in these difficult times. That's what I'm saying.
What does the loss?
It means a lot because we have had almost 2 serious and big personalities in the north. The likes of Honorable Limona, who until recently, before we lost the power in 2016, was our northern regional minister. So we've lost him too. We've also lost a minister of environment. It's an honor that there is no guarantee to still be here. So we've lost a lot. It's a pain, and words cannot describe how we are feeling right now. But one thing that I used to comfort myself is that we will all go. Once you have this at the back of your mind, nothing surprises you. Yes, it's a tragic day. I will just admonish Northern Region and our residents that it is not enough to mourn, but you must do 2 things. Pray for him and the other departed souls, and then leave the legacy that he left behind. That's what I would say. Thank you. Okay, so Wednesday is a very bad day for me in particular, because at the early hours of this morning around 9, I had a battle of my own grandfather. So I was in the process of organizing, making arrangements for a burial when I saw it.
So that there is the Sanerigu MP all expressing deep condolences to the bereaved families indeed. And this is our continued coverage of this very tragic day that is unfolding right before our eyes. The helicopter crash that has claimed 8 lives, including the lives of the Defense Minister, Dr. Omane Boamah, and the life of the Environment Minister, Murtala Mohammed, who have passed tonight, perished in that helicopter crash. A few things we can confirm for you in terms of the developments that have happened since we went on air. In the last few minutes, we've had confirmation from the Deputy Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator, who was in the forest together with our reporter, and this is an exclusive first reporter to get there deep in that forest, confirming that they have now retrieved all the remains. The bodies have now all been retrieved, he says. He says also confirming that they will now quickly move into DNA testing to identify the bodies. We know that at least 2 of them are Muslims, and they would have to be buried very quickly. So we know that now. He also says that the experts are on your way to assess the crash site and look at the black box, also to ascertain what really happened. But I also think something else that we've heard from the assemblyman, which is important, it will be an important factor in investigations, is the weather. The assemblyman confirmed that the area where the helicopter went down today was very foggy.
Right.
And the fog had engulfed the entire area. And if you look at the timelines, as we've learned from the Ghana Armed Forces, this was around 9, in fact, to be very specific, around just after 9:12 is when the helicopter took off. And the assemblyman tells us that it was very foggy. The weather wasn't good today. It's possible it may have played a part in what we saw. But I'm very sure that as investigators are now heading to the scene of this crash, they would factor that into what happened.
Right. It is very true. I mean, I think in the last few days, the weather hasn't been quite friendly. I mean, it's not been itself since the start of June. June, July, August usually the same. Even I was just going through the weather update from the Meteo Service. They are predicting rains from now till tomorrow morning. Yeah. All from Accra to the Ashanti region and beyond. So the assembly members' account is what is pertaining across the country, if you like. And usually flying over a forest zone, you will see it even more. And so, well, we won't conclude on anything until they are done with their investigation. I'm sure whatever they're able to retrieve from the aircraft, the black box, the recorder, whatever it is, I'm sure we'll give a clue as to the final moments before the plane went down, and it will help investigators as to what to do going forward. But clearly, I mean, I brought you an earlier story about in 2020, the same Z9. I don't know whether it is the same aircraft, but if it is the same, then probably may have issues with maintenance that has bedeviled it in the last few years. The broader conversation relates around how we are flying hiding units. Remember, even the presidential aircraft, as we speak now, is undergoing some kind of maintenance because it may not be fit for purpose as we speak now. Maybe in another day we may have that conversation.
And that is very important. You know, a lot of questions will be asked, and one of the things we'll be doing as part of our coverage is speaking to the experts, understanding. So, what will the investigators be looking at today? What are some of the factors that they will be measuring today? What really happened? Also understanding a bit more this particular aircraft, what is its service history, what etc. So we can understand what has happened. And it's true, you make the point about the previous incidents involving the Z9.
Right.
It's something that you need to definitely look into. And dignitaries will have to fly the length and breadth of this country. In fact, I have flown one of those before. The militaries, have helicopters that they use if you have to go to a place very quickly and is urgent. The president does fly in those internally because you can't drive everywhere. No. Especially because you have multiple assignments in the day. You need to go quickly and return. So this is a very convenient, fast way to do it. And you need to ask questions. That I'm pretty certain tonight that all the Z9s in the fleet of the Ghana Armed Forces will possibly be grounded as part of the precautionary measures, and there'll be no further flying of that. And I'm not surprised that the forensic experts and the military's own team that will be assessing the damage are not on site yet. The deputy coordinator confirmed that they are waiting for them to arrive. And you made a point about the base that is very close. Right. They may not be equipped to do the kind of tasks that you need to do today. They possibly have to fly in, the team from Accra. But then the key question then becomes: are you still going to fly in the helicopter to Obuasi, for example? Are you going to probably get in the plane and go to Ashanti region, Kumasi, and then do a road trip? That's going to take time. It's possibly why they haven't reached there yet. But one of the most important things is not contaminating the crash site, because they need to really investigate this properly, right, and understand what happened. Because also we may have additional helicopters in our fleet that needs to be assessed. And if you don't understand what happened, you cannot put in place measures to forestall this happening again. So a lot of questions tonight that we'll ask as the nation grieves. The nation is grieving tonight. The flags are flying at half-mast, and we're expecting to hear a bit more now. The Vice President, we know, has toured the country, Accra, basically, and informing the families of those who have passed on. And further updates, obviously, will be provided once the families have now been informed. We've seen the grieving that is happening, especially in the constituencies,
right?
Where in Mutale constituency, we've seen the grieving there. We'll show you what the people there. Martina Bugri managed to speak to the brother of the environment minister, and I want to bring that to you. And she went to the family home there in the northern region and tracked the brother down. This is what she told her.
We have other brothers in Accra. I've asked them to take care of that and speak to the immediate family, the wife and the children in Accra. So we are also here. I can't leave here as us now. But we have the brothers in Accra. Honorable Haruna and Co are doing that for us. I'm Ibrahim Mohammed Baba. Not the family head. Yeah, brother. Yeah.
That is one of the brothers of the environment minister talking to us about what has happened today. If you're just joining us, you're just joining our coverage of the terrible news that we've heard today with the crash of the Z9 military helicopter that has claimed the lives of 8 people, including the defense minister and the environment minister as well. In Elting, there are a lot of things that we've learned since we started today. How the accident happened, we don't know yet, but we know that this was a flight that was headed to Boise for a very important event. The launch of one of the key interventions to deal with illegal mining. And to think that illegal mining again
is the reason somebody
at the heart of this tragedy. It again goes to reinforce why a lot more needs to be done. But the ministers were there going on the way to launch this initiative, and they had crashed. We're learning a bit more about it with the weather, which is important in assessing what might happen. The assemblyman spoke to us live from the forest and told us that the weather today was pretty terrible in terms of the fogginess of the area above which the helicopter was flying. It may or may not have contributed. That will be a subject of investigations by the team that is going there. But we're getting a bit more condolences coming in statements all over.
A lot, in fact. You remember Mr. Chachuchi Kata was called to the bar 50 years ago. And beginning today, there was going to be a program to celebrate him. Now, he just issued a statement. He says that following the tragic news of the helicopter crash that has sadly taking the lives of 2 ministers of state and 6 others, the 3-day event to celebrate 50 years of my legal practice is cancelled. Now, we are overwhelmed with grief, and our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the deceased. And this is signed by Mr. Chachuchi Kata. And then because of this thing, what we are reporting, this tragic accident, that 3-day celebration is cancelled. Now, there's also one from the New Patriotic Party. The party says it is reeling with sorrow and grief following the tragic crash of a military helicopter that claimed the lives of all 8 persons on board. The passing is not only a devastating blow to their families, but also a profound loss to the entire nation they worked for and protected. We extend our deepest and most heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families. No words can truly capture the anguish of this moment. We pray that the Almighty God grants them comfort and strength during this excruciating, difficult period. We call for thorough, transparent, and swift investigation into the cause of the crash. The dignity of the lives lost demands answers and accountability to ensure that such a tragedy never happens again. In this time of mourning, we call on all Ghanaians to come together in unity, prayer, and compassion. That's the MPP. Apart from, they also demanded transparent investigation into this matter.
And the last line there, the last paragraph is the most powerful one indeed. That this is one of the few moments in this country that we have to unite, that unites us all, regardless of your political leanings.
True. There's also one from the United Nations. The United Nations says that it is profound sorrow. We received the tragic news of the fatal crash involving a Ghana Air Force Z9 helicopter, claiming the lives of distinguished governments of Ghana officials, including the Honorable Minister for Defense, Dr. Omane Boamah, and the Honorable Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Murtala Mohammed. The United Nations family in Ghana mourns with the nation in this moment of deep grief. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families and to the government and people of Ghana as we together face this painful loss. The tragedy is not only a national wound, but also a loss felt across the international community. We stand united at this time of mourning. We honor the memory of those who have passed and hope for their lasting peace. And this is signed by Zia Chaudhry, the UN Resident Coordinator for Ghana. So many of them. There's one from Kwabena Japan, who is bidding to lead the MPP, and a few others.
And you can expect a lot more to come through on this very difficult of days. And if you're just joining us on the Joy News channel, the Joy 99.7 FM, on Love FM in Kumasi, on our many social media platforms, and for those of you who are also following us live on myjoyonline.com and YouTube, Facebook, this indeed is a difficult time for the country. Flags are flying at half-mast. The passing of 2 cabinet ministers perished in a crash, in a helicopter crash, with 6 others, all on the way to serve Mother Ghana.
Right.
And to deal with one of the country's biggest threats, illegal mining. Indeed, that is the context of today's tragedy. And we are, again, awaiting a bit more news now as far as the investigations into the crash itself is concerned, because we have confirmation that indeed the experts have been dispatched to gather that information. The black box, if indeed this flight has one, will be assessed. And I say if indeed it has one, because we told you earlier, the Z9 may or may not, depending on whether it was configured to have one. The military, the civilian types definitely do, and if it's a military one, it may or may not too. We'll get that clarity for you on that. Still with us here on our coverage, and you want to stay with us for that as we begin to hear a bit more of the condolences coming through, statements from those who obviously have been impacted by this.
Of course, we've got the European Union also sending in a statement. The EU says it is deeply saddened by the tragic helicopter crash claiming the lives of Defense Minister Dr. Omane Boamah, the Environment Minister Murtala Mohammed, and of course 6 others. The statement ends by saying that our heartfelt condolences to the families, loved ones, and the people of Ghana. The majority leader, who is with the Speaker of Parliament in the United States of America, attending a conference, says it is proving difficult to process the tragic reality of the passing of my colleagues, some of whom I closely worked with for many years. I extend my condolences to their families and the bereaved families of the other occupants of the aircraft. This is coming from Ahmad Yariga, who says he's in the United States of America with the Speaker attending a conference.
And we can speak now to Ernest Soa, who is a pilot himself and understands the aviation industry quite well. And he joins us on the line right now. Ernest, thank you for joining us on this very difficult day indeed. And what do we know about this Z9 helicopter?
Hey, good evening, and thanks for having me. Good evening to your cherished listeners and viewers as well. The Z9, as you know, it's a helicopter which has a total max of 8. So I'm looking at
the and get an exclusive interview, giving us a sense of what happened, and also the efforts that our security officers were putting in to retrieve the bodies and preserve it in a state that they can conduct the DNA testing on. It's one of the most heartbreaking moments when you saw the bodies being carried away there. And also, it is only through him that you begin to appreciate what really must have happened there. Because the terrain I saw, I mean, there's a close-up shot, but then you see the people climbing down. It would have been pretty lonely. The crash, knowing the last moments, knowing that you're going down in this thick forest. And we showed you the Google Earth overview of how thick forested this place is, going down in this very deserted forest reserve range. And it's called a range for a reason. I guess that's probably the reason why it's a climb up there, and just nobody can come to your rescue at the time because of how far the place is. It's tragic. You cannot put in words what this is in terms of how heartbreaking, how heart-wrenching. It's the worst of accidents you can ever imagine happening in the worst of places. If it happened in close to, say, a town, you can expect people can rush and get to you immediately and save people, possibly.
Sorry, I didn't cut you, but just like Kofi was pointing out, the Bonsu Chrome one happened in a community.
Yeah.
So it was easy for people to rush in there and offer,
and try and help.
Support,
but that was the first time you saw, goodness, this really was remote. It's the middle of absolutely nowhere, where the helicopter had crashed. But again, we know again from his reporting that the community is very used to the sound of helicopters flying over. And so this is something that they hear all the time. You ignore it. It's another helicopter flying by. This wasn't one of those.
No.
This wasn't one of those. This was a very, very difficult
Especially
one.
the eyewitness who said they heard a bang.
Yeah.
That sound. So even though they hear helicopters passing by always, but this one, ended up giving them that sound that told them that no, something is wrong. And that's why they all began rushing to the scene.
Yeah.
Someone meeting them to say, I have been there.
Yeah.
And this is the situation. So really, it's, 8 men told their families that they were going to work. And these 8 men could not return. Someone made a post that he is wondering what could have been their thoughts in that last moment when, as you say, they knew that this is a place where nobody was going to come to our aid when we need it. What could have been running through their mind? So, quite heart-wrenching there.
And then also the challenge of accessing the site. And Bright talks about when he first reached out, because I was insisting, let's go. Let's go into the forest. And he says, well, the community people say it's going to take 2 hours. Trek. I said, let's go. And then he said, okay. And then he started walking. And he says he's been walking for an hour and they're not getting close. Yeah. And I said, let's try further. So then he climbs with his team and the driver, the camera person. And then they got to a place where they now saw a bit more signs of life, because other people, some community, some military, and we saw fire service, police, military, national security officers, or everybody, all hands, even NADMO. I saw a NADMO officer there, and then so he stopped down. You still had to do another 30 minutes climb before you get to the actual site, and then he began to do the interviews and giving us the clarity. So it hasn't been easy, even for the team that had gone there to try and understand what has happened. Obviously tonight, you can't expect that anything else will happen. For the team that is going out to investigate the cause of the crash, you don't expect them to be in the thick forest at this time. You possibly would wait for tomorrow before they get in. But their work is so important to understanding why why the helicopter crashed. It's so fundamental. And we spoke to the pilot who joined us to give us some perspective on what they will be looking for. One of the first things that they will have to look for is a thing that we all have heard about, the flight data recorder, the FDR, first thing they need to look for, and or the cockpit voice recorder. Together you call it the black box. You need to look for that immediately and see whether any communication in the last minutes before this helicopter went down. They need to look for that. The pilot tells us that this Z9 helicopter is a pretty agile helicopter. It's fundamental work as is reconnaissance, transportation, rescue. You use it for the brick stuff. Short travel, etc. And it's described as a utility craft, right? So this is something we've been used for a while. John Mahama himself commissioned a few during his time.
2015.
And if we go back to 2010, when we first began commercial production of oil. We had bought a few, obviously, to do a lot of the offshore monitoring of the FPSO and the activities happening there. So we've used it for quite a while. One of the key questions that will arise is what is the maintenance history of this? How well did the Ghana Armed Forces maintain it, considering that this is not the first time a similar craft has been involved in another incident, right? So that is a key question that the investigators will have to deal with. It's Chinese, and also one of the tokens of our relationship. We had secured it from them. There have been several iterations of this, so it's not your latest, fifth, sixth generation helicopter, but it's one that is so very useful if you maintain it properly. So the maintenance, they'll have a maintenance record, and that they will have to be investigating. And I'm pretty sure, as we speak tonight, the Air Force will be all over this. So, yeah. The aircraft, the rest of it they have in their care will possibly, as of this tonight, be grounded. Because you need to make sure that nobody else is put in danger of that. 8 people in all. You have 2 pilots, so 10 people in all. This helicopter can carry. So there's a lot that we will learn in the next few days, and knowing this government's initial approach to doing things, where they tell us quite a bit, we can expect that we'll be updated on what they have been able to establish as the cause of this. Is it weather? Is it a malfunction? Is it a challenge with something that had gone horribly wrong? We'll find out very soon.
If you just joined us, let's run you through the list of the people that we've unfortunately lost through this. Dr. Edward Omane Boamah is Minister of Defense. Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed is Minister of Environment. Alhaji Muniru Mohammed is Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator. Dr. Samuel Sapon is Vice Chairman of the NDC. We also have Samuel Abwaje. He is former parliamentary candidate of Obuasi East, or for Obuasi East, NDC. Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Chum Ampedu, and Sergeant Ernest Ado. These are the 8 people we've unfortunately lost through this tragic
and what you see on the screen is the mom of Dr. Omane Boamah, who is currently going to be escorted to Accra, from what we learned. That's her in your shot. And for those of you who are listening to us on Joy 99.7 FM, you want to catch us on the Joy channel, so you can see the visual for yourself. She's now been, helped.
She's been helped into a V8 vehicle to be transported to Accra. I mean, surrounded by family members, and I see military officers there as well. Yeah, I think they will be given they will be leading the vehicle to Accra. This will be very painful moment. A mother in her age, hearing about the tragic end of her son, mourning the son. I mean, the son just became a minister, right? And with all the things that come with it, I mean, she has to today wake up to that news of losing him. Very, very difficult period for her, and we can only pray that.
We're going to leave you with that footage, and we're going to take a quick break. And when we return, you're going to be joined by Kojo.
So it will be Kojo joining me for us to continue
our coverage. Stay with us. This is Joy News.